We love our gadgets, phones, smartwatches, those robot vacuums that look like they're constantly plotting something. Technology is amazing, but it's getting really good at knowing our stuff. And I don't mean just remembering our Amazon passwords, I'm talking about our thoughts, our feelings, our most embarrassing Google searches. That's where things get creepy. This isn't some dystopian sci-fi movie, folks. This is real life. And one man, Montel Alexander Bowman, is taking a stand. He's saying enough is enough. He's claiming that technology is being used to violate our most basic rights. And honestly, after hearing his story, you might just start to agree with him. This isn't about being anti-technology. It's about setting boundaries. It's about making sure that our tech serves us, not the other way around. Because if we're not careful, we might just find ourselves living in a world where our every thought is up for grabs. Montel Bowman isn't a household name. He's not a tech CEO or a famous hacker. He's an ordinary guy who believes something extraordinary is happening to him. Bowman claims that technology is being used to access his thoughts, his feelings, even his physical sensations. He says it's like having someone constantly peering inside his head, reading his most private moments. He's filed a lawsuit, and it's a doozy. He's accusing unnamed entities of using advanced technology to spy on him, to manipulate him, and to inflict emotional and physical harm. Now I know what you're thinking, this is starting to sound a little tinfoil hat, but hold on a minute. Bowman's case raises some seriously important questions about the limits of technology and the sanctity of our own minds. He's arguing that his fundamental rights are being violated, and he's demanding justice. Whether he can prove it in court is another story, but win or lose, Bowman's case is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that the things we create can have unintended consequences, and sometimes those consequences can be downright terrifying. The law has a hard time keeping up with technology. It's like trying to catch a self-driving car with a horse-drawn carriage. By the time the law catches up, the technology is already 10 steps ahead. And nowhere is this more apparent than in the realm of our own minds. The Fourth Amendment protects us from unreasonable searches and seizures, right? But what happens when the thing being searched is your brain? What happens when technology can access your thoughts, your memories, your most private moments? Is that still protected? These aren't just hypothetical questions anymore. With advancements in neuroscience and artificial intelligence, the ability to decode brain activity is becoming increasingly sophisticated. We're talking about technology that could potentially read your thoughts, predict your actions, even implant memories. This is some serious Black Mirror stuff. And the law, frankly, is playing catch-up. The Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution is a beautiful thing. It protects us from those pesky government types who love to go snooping around where they don't belong. It says they can't just barge into our homes, rifle through our stuff, and steal our favorite spoon collection. But here's the thing. The Fourth Amendment was written way back in the 1700s, long before the internet, smartphones, or those creepy Alexa devices that seem to be listening to everything we say. So, how does this old-timey law apply to our super-connected, digitally enhanced world? That's a question courts are grappling with right now, because here's the thing. Our digital data, our online activity, our text messages, all that stuff is, in a way, an extension of ourselves. It reflects our thoughts, our relationships, our deepest desires. So, when the government wants to access our emails, track our location, or listen in on our phone calls, are they violating our Fourth Amendment rights? The answer, as with most things in law, is it depends. But one thing's for sure, the Fourth Amendment is getting a serious workout in the digital age, and it's not entirely clear if it's up to the task. Section 5, spying eyes everywhere, from cookies to cameras. Remember that time you were browsing the web looking for, let's say, a new pair of noise-canceling headphones? And then magically, ads for those exact headphones started following you around the internet like a lost puppy dog? That's not magic, my friends, that's cookies. Those tiny little trackers that websites use to gather information about you, and they are everywhere. But cookies are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to online surveillance. We've got cameras on every street corner, facial recognition software that can identify us in a crowd, and social media companies that know more about our likes, dislikes, and embarrassing childhood photos than our own mothers. It's enough to make you want to live in a Faraday cage and communicate solely through smoke signals. Now, I'm not saying all this technology is inherently bad. It can be used for good, like catching criminals, finding lost children, and showing us personalized ads for noise-canceling headphones, which, let's be honest, we all need sometimes. But it's important to be aware of the potential for misuse, to understand how our data is being collected and used, and to fight for our right to privacy in an increasingly surveilled world. Section 6. Big Brother isn't just watching the government's tech toys. Remember that book 1984 with the creepy Big Brother government watching everyone's every move? Yeah, it turns out, Orwell might have been onto something. Governments around the world are increasingly using sophisticated technology to monitor their citizens. We're talking about facial recognition software, stingray devices that can intercept your phone calls, and even predictive policing algorithms that claim to know who's going to commit a crime before it even happens. Now, I understand that governments have a legitimate interest in keeping their citizens safe, but when does national security cross the line into mass surveillance? When does the pursuit of justice become a witch hunt? These are questions we need to be asking ourselves right now, because the truth is, once these technologies are in place, they're very hard to roll back. They have a way of expanding, of becoming more invasive, of chipping away at our freedoms bit by bit. And before we know it, we might just find ourselves living in a world where privacy is nothing more than a distant memory. Section 7. When hackers get personal your data, their playground. We love to hate on the government for spying on us, but let's not forget about the other bad actors out there, hackers. These digital ninjas are constantly finding new and creative ways to breach our defenses and steal our precious data. And they're not just after our credit card numbers anymore. They're after our identities, our medical records, our deepest, darkest secrets. Like that time we accidentally liked our ex's new profile picture from 2017. Data breaches are becoming more common and more severe. We're talking about millions, even billions of records being compromised in a single hack. It's enough to make you want to ditch your devices, move to a remote island, and live off the land, though good luck finding decent Wi-Fi out there. The problem is, in today's interconnected world, it's almost impossible to function without handing over at least some of our data. We need passwords to access our bank accounts, social security numbers to get a job, and email addresses to sign up for cat videos on YouTube. So, what can we do? We need to be vigilant, we need to demand better security from the companies we entrust with our data, and we need to support legislation that holds hackers accountable for their actions. Section 8. Fighting back your rights in a digital world. So, we've established that technology is awesome, but it also has the potential to be a total privacy nightmare. Does that mean we should all just give up, accept defeat, and hand over our brainwaves to the nearest tech overlord? Absolutely not. We have rights, people, even in the digital world. First of all, we have the right to know what information is being collected about us and how it's being used. We have the right to control our own data. We have the right to delete our information if we want to. And we have the right to say no to those creepy targeted ads. Though good luck escaping those noise-canceling headphone ads now, they're onto you. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Fighting for our digital rights requires constant vigilance. It means reading privacy policies, as painful as that may be, speaking out against invasive practices, and supporting organizations that are fighting for our right to privacy. Section 9. The future of privacy. A tech-filled world needs rules. We're living in a world where technology is evolving faster than ever before. Artificial intelligence, virtual reality, the metaverse, it's all happening so fast, it's enough to make your head spin, and not in the good virtual reality kind of way. And with all this amazing technology comes a whole host of new challenges to our privacy. We need to start thinking about these challenges now, before it's too late. We need to establish clear rules and regulations for how technology can be used to collect, store, and share our personal information. We need to ensure that our rights are protected in the digital world, just as they are in the physical world. The future of privacy depends on the choices we make today. We can choose to sleepwalk into a surveillance state, where our every move is tracked and analyzed. Or we can choose to fight for a future where technology empowers us, not controls us. It's time to take back control of our digital lives. It's time to demand better from our governments and from the tech companies that are shaping our world. It's time to make privacy a priority once again.